How you doing? I'm Anthony Zanni on the A to Z podcast with Anthony Zanni. I'm here with Anthony Tumminello. He's a 4-time international fitness model. He's cover on it, right? Men's Fitness Magazine, twice?
Twice on Men's Fitness, once on Train, once
Incredible.
on Muscle Sport.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here, certified nutritionist. You guys amazing. How did you get into this line of work?
I first actually went to college. I went to Cortland State, so upstate New York. I first went for physical education.
Right.
Funny story is, I liked it, but I felt like it wasn't for me. I don't know if the job market would have been good on Long Island. So I had a great advisor, and he said, you got a good personality. Would you ever be interested in doing like strength and conditioning, personal training, things like that? And honestly, I wasn't really into fitness or lifting or whatever the case. But I thought it was like, that sounds really, really interesting. So I switched my major to exercise science. I actually started lifting myself, and the ego part of it kind of got me because I was in the weight room with, the football team. I was in the weight room, and I was kind of a little arrogant individual in college. So
Like we all were.
yeah, right. So I got the bar. I'm doing a bench press. I got a 25 here and a 25 here, and I'm like, whatever. So I bring it up, and it crashes on my chest.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So one of the big football players, and I tell this story in one of the magazine interviews. One of the big football players ran over, picked the measly 95 pounds off of me, and I was mortified. So then I said to myself, all right, if I'm going to do this for a living, I got the spark for it. If I'm going to do this for a living, something like that's never going to happen again.
Of course.
I'm going to learn everything I could possibly know about human anatomy, exercise science, biomechanics, motor behavior, which is all the exercise science portion of it.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of started. My first job was a strength and conditioning coach for a minor league hockey team in Binghamton.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah. It was great, and I didn't know what I was doing, but
You made it work.
I made $18,000 a year.
Oh,
right? That was 2002. So
And that was good.
yeah,
I'll take it.
I took it, and I took it. So that's how I kind of started in that, and then I moved to Florida. One of my cousins was big into fitness. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start personal training. So I started at a local gym in Florida. I liked it, dealing with the individuals, and then, I moved back up to New York, and I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do for a living. Now, my biggest thing was back then, 2002. Personal training and fitness and everything wasn't as trendy. So I'm like, you know what? But I want to do this. I know I can do this. So I started at a corporate gym. Mingled, met a lot of people, tried to build a little bit of a name for myself. One of the managers at the corporate gym, again, not knowing too much what I was doing. So it was like, I didn't.
Still figuring it out.
Right, but I'm not that guy I wasn't that guy I'm not going to fake it till I make it, because in that business you could hurt someone.
For sure.
Right, so long story short, one of the managers, I worked for the New York Sports Club, and this is, again, 2003-ish. One of the managers, there was a new show coming out called Buff Brides.
Okay.
And it was on the Discovery Health Channel. Now, mind you, it's 2003, so fitness is just starting to kind of brew. No one was getting degrees. I was one of the first ones that got a degree in the field. No one was getting an exercise science degree because it was brand new. So I was one of the first people. So when I got to New York Sports Club, I guess I had a knack, I had charisma, I had the poofy bouffant, so my hair was looking good. So one of the managers they asked me if I would be interested in doing, one of the shows, one of the episodes on the show. So I did that. It didn't go so well because I didn't really know what I was doing. But that kind of, again, sparked like, all right, once again, I got to get better at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just started, after the years, I started, going from gym to gym. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to build my own name. I'm going to build my own reputation. I'm going to build my own company. But the biggest thing for me, and this is what kind of separates me, is I'm not just a nutritionist. I'm not just a strength and conditioning coach. I'm not just a trainer.
Yeah.
I am all three.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I always wanted to be able to train anybody for anything, whether it be a pro athlete, whether it be grandma that needs to get up off the couch, So that was, you know, what I did. I started writing publications before social media to get recognition.
Yeah.
And, you know, I started to build a reputation. And then obviously my company's called Method Training. And obviously what, you know, when social media hit and everything like that, we just talked about as far as advertising, as far as marketing, it made it easier for me.
Of course, I can imagine.
So that was kind of my beginning story. And then, you know, 20 years later, you know.
So Method Training took off, obviously, which is why you've been on the cover of everything, which is amazing. Was there a breakthrough moment for that to take off?
Oh, no question. So, you know, I started building my own physique, you know, also. So I worked with a supplement company called Gat, who wanted me to do advertisements. So they pay for photo shoots, and so I looked good, whatever the case. So I did an advertisement for Gat. It was, you know, posters on retail stores and, you know, posts and things like that. And a photographer from California named Jason Ellis contacted me and said, you got a really good physique, but it's not just the physique, you got a good attitude. Everyone has everyone has in the fitness industry 6 packs or whatever. You have something that I think would be, you know, special.
Yeah.
And again, I wasn't the typical cover guy. You know, I don't have that kind of smile. I got a crooked smile. I got scars on my face. But what he kind of noticed something. So he contacted Gat. Gat sent me to California. And I was kind of still weary about it. Like, hey, is this guy really for real, you know, with this? But, you know, truth be told, he was. I mean, there's 6 billion people on the planet. And not everyone gets the cover of Men's Fitness, but celebrities and stuff like that. But, so I did a shoot with him. It went really well. I looked phenomenal. And then, you know, I wasn't really getting calls from any kind of publications. And funny part is, I always say this, it always takes an Italian guy from either Brooklyn or Long Island to start you. So this local guy, his name's Joe Pietero, he's the owner of Muscle Sport magazine.
Awesome.
Local, saw something, it's more of a hardcore sports bodybuilding situation magazine. Called me, he's like, yo, you got a great look, man. I want to do a story on you.
Oh, that's terrific.
And, you know, I was like, all right, so we contacted Jason Ellis. And, you know, Jason Ellis gave him my photos. He made all the money. You know, I get, you know, proceeds from every publication. And he did an awesome story on me, you know. And then the best part was, I guess, Train magazine in England saw that. They contacted me.
Right.
They said, yo, we read the story that he wrote. And they're, you know, they're based out of England, but it's international. And, you know, they said, you know, listen, we want to do a cover story on you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I mean, I know, you know, I knew I was good in the industry, locally, whatever. And then I was like, wow, I was blown away.
That's terrific.
So when I got that in 2020, it kind of just snowballed and escalated into, okay, then Men's Fitness South Africa, you know, contacted Jason, and, you know, then Men's Fitness in England contact, you know, so it was an international thing. And again, I don't think it was just my physique or whatever. I think it was more of like a, you know, he's from New York, he's a real human being, and so it was kind of, I never say I got lucky. I made my luck, but
of course, you worked hard for it.
Yeah, that was
it.
how.
I love hearing people's success stories.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's truly inspiring, and a lot of people can look up to that.
Right.
I love what you're doing now. You're dealing with a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of boxers. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm a strength and conditioning coach for a lot of pro fighters.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I have.
That has to be fun.
It's beyond fun, and honestly, that's really passionate for me because I'm not only, you know, I don't only do just weight training with them and stuff. My responsibility as a sports nutritionist is I got to get them to cut weight safely. And they nobody, not one fighter that I knew or I started to work with knew how to do that. So when I kind of taught them how to cut weight safely, it was a mind-blowing situation.
I can imagine.
I
couldn't fathom trying to cut weight.
Yeah, and you know, and honestly, I absolutely love it. I mean, to see my work as far as, you know, get a little more power, a little more agility, a little more stamina that's my work, and then to see them get ready for that, you know, competition, that fight or whatever. I mean, that's what I really.
Because then you become a fan as well. You get to watch. You were directly impacting their fight. I mean, that's amazing. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Oh, it's an amazing. I mean, I love, you know, all the coaching staff. We walk down on ESPN, and it's just amazing.
So cool,
yeah, it's a really that's what I'm really passionate about. Obviously helping everyone as far as obesity and things like that. But yeah, that's a fun part of my job.
That's neat. Now you're creating a supplement company.
Oh yes.
It's called Kingdom Supplement?
Kingdom Supplements. Our first product is a pre-workout. It's not for the beginner. It's definitely has high stim, high caffeine, things like that.
I won't be taking that yet then.
Not yet, not yet.
All right.
It's called War Potion. So we're going to be coming out with a line of supplements. They're going to have the potion type involved, a sleep product,
Great.
A recovery product. So it's called Kingdom Supplements.
Kingdom Supplements.
We just started it, and I'm pretty excited about what we're going to do with it.
I'm excited about that. That sounds
it's
amazing.
It's going to be good.
Do you have a favorite snack food or a food of some sort that's your go-to?
Anthony, you're talking
to an Italian.
You're talking to me here. Yes, my favorite go-to, I would have to say, very thin sliced chicken cutlets fried.
Oh God, yes.
Marinara sauce or marinara sauce
Nice.
for the with nice thin spaghetti. That would be definitely a go-to. I'm not a big.
I can go for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have to say, my mother that was my mother.
Yeah.
So every time I go to a restaurant, if I order something like that, I got to say, listen, I'm sorry. Please have the
Thinly sliced.
the most thin chicken cutlets.
Pound it out. Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, that's my
funny,
thing.
buddy. So being a nutritionist, right? Now you created the Method training program.
Right.
Did that impact it greatly, being a nutritionist? Like how much did that impact it?
Big time, because obviously besides a degree, it's just like a teacher or an accountant or whatever the case. You have to recertify certifications every 2 years. So it's called CEU, so continuing education. So when I first started, I really wasn't the strongest with the nutrition base, and I took a lot of certifications.
So you kind of might have saw a little not great, not that it was not great results, but you saw results that could have been better.
100% based on diet, nutrition, supplementation. I mean, the science of that is one in its own. So once I really started to understand and understand how it correlates with my strength and conditioning, with my training, the results were mind-blowing. Were mind-blowing. But the thing is, everything is, there's a lot of people, and I'm going to say fugazi, phony people on social media. I'm sure in real estate, I'm sure it's like that in any business.
Any business.
The thing what people don't understand is that it's not cookie cutter, Ant. You know what I mean? It has to be basic. It has to be to that person on an individual basis. You know what I mean? People don't understand medications are involved sometimes that could coincide with what you're giving them nutrition-wise.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's nothing's cookie cutter when it comes to what I do, and if you really truly believe in what you do, you're passionate about it, and most importantly, you have the education behind you. I can't stress that enough. You'll go far in the business.
That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day I wake up around 5:36. I usually have my first client around 7. So I usually typically work from 7 to noon. Obviously the clientele is either medical, nutrition, pro athletes, whatever the case. I take a break a little bit midday, but it's really not a break because then, I have to answer emails. I have to talk to my assistant about a lot of things. I also have, the supplement company situation.
Got to work on that still.
Yeah, a couple other things. I'm a part owner of a racehorse.
No way, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, where is that?
So it's in Pennsylvania. Her name's Anoint. She's a filly.
Oh, that's great.
So that's just another fun. But anyway,
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's still something that you got to really kind of
When does she race?
She actually has a race coming up January 28th.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So
very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the side stuff. But usually, like I said, that's midday, and then I come back to my office. I have clients usually around 3, and I work all the way till about 9. But it's not really work for me because I really do. Yeah, I love what I do.
It's amazing.
I must say.
So for someone like me and a lot of other people out there, getting into shape could be a very daunting task, right?
Yeah,
Just the thought of it alone is kind of exhausting.
And scary.
Absolutely. What advice, if you can tell me and anybody else out there anything, what advice would you give us to just start our journey?
Well, it depends on the fitness level that you're at, you know. If you're brand new, never have no idea about anything related to fitness-wise, cardiovascular health, anaerobic, anything like that, I always say just start by changing your daily habits. Try to, you know, and people don't understand, I'm going to say hydration here. Try to understand how the body works, your metabolism works, how your digestion works, and know what individual you know, food or liquid does for you. So I always say the biggest thing is cut all the junk.
Sure.
All right, as much as possible. Start by changing your daily habits. One big thing that I always tell everyone is work on your hydration level. So I want you to start by drinking a lot more water a day. Again, that affects your digestion and then metabolism. Second thing is I ask them their sleep patterns. Okay, so sleep patterns are highly important. People don't understand how much recovery has to do with fitness. So we try to fix the sleep patterns a little bit, try to give them a bedtime, try to, you know, get to bed at a certain time, wake up at a certain time. People love to say, oh, I want to wake up earlier. It's not about that.
Right.
It's about going to sleep at the right time, you know? So I always say, change daily habits, okay? You could still eat certain things that you like, but you got to try to change one thing each week that we're doing.
So you can still have a cheat day, so to speak?
Correct, but it's also based on the individual that's in front of me. So again, someone that's saying, listen, I just need to lose about 10, 20 pounds. Number one, I put them on something called a calorie deficit.
Okay.
So that all that means is they're burning a lot more calories that they're intaking.
Understood.
Right, so then that's how you burn fat. And then I say, listen, you know, here's some basic supplements that you're gonna do. And then just like anything, we progress. So that's just as simple as that.
Incredible.
But the biggest thing about what we do in this industry, or what they're supposed to do in this industry, is you keep people accountable, and that's what a coach does.
Right.
You know, you're a baseball coach, same kind of concept. You know.
Yeah. It's an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you here. This has been the A to Z podcast with Anthony Tumminello. Thank you. It's been an absolute honor. Hope you guys learned a lot. If you want to contact him, all his information is going to be at the bottom of the page. And look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you very
for having
much.
me.